Good morning. It is November 16th, 2020. I was up on this mountain yesterday, had a really good hunt, saw 3 bucks a doe. I missed the biggest buck, nice 8-point. So I'm going back in there. I'm not going to hunt the same spot. I'm going to hunt the other side of the mountain because the wind switched. Yesterday was a south wind, today's a west wind, so I'm going to hunt on the other side of the mountain to stay on the leeward side. On top of this mountain's all really thick mountain laurel, and does love to bed in it. So yesterday what we were having, those bucks were cruising the leeward side of the mountain, getting downwind of that bedding area. So today, what a save. Holy crap. So today, the wind, west wind, I'm going to be on the east side of the mountain. I'll be downwind of that bedding area, getting that wind tunnel like I did yesterday. And we'll set up. I've had good hunts in here in the past on this side of the mountain. The only thing is, I don't have as much cover on this side of the mountain as I do on the north side. The north side has a lot more pine trees, and it's easy for me to find a tree to hide in. This side is all open oaks. An advantage that I have is I'll be able to see a lot more, but as well as the deer. So calling might not work today because it's going to be super windy and the deer can really see. All I have to do is stay on the edge of the thick cover, look down. Yep, there's not a deer down there. So we're going to give a heck today. I'm going to get ready. It's about 5 a.m. right now, and I'm going to hike in there good mile. And then I got to climb 700 feet straight up. So feeling good. Yesterday was a good hunt, so it was giving me a lot of motivation to get out there today. We'll see if we can get one range. Oh, I'm tired. Just gotta open this truck door, get in the cold, and wake up.
I set up lower on the hill because I don't want to go too high because we have those thermals pulling down right now. But I can always move up. As the sun comes up, the thermals are just going to start rising. We're going to have more of a strong day wind coming out of the west. I'll be able to sneak up there, probably closer to the bedding area. But this is a good place. Try to catch a deer going up to bed in the morning. Doe travel is like this. West wind today coming like this. Buck travel is going to be like this. They're going to want to cross these doe trails and get down to the bedding area. So right through where I'm sitting, maybe 100-yard stretch through here is where they will try to do that. Like I said, thermals are pulling down, so I set up lower on the hill for now. Pretty good chance I'm going to get up and move, but I can see very well in here. I can see a good ways, so I'll be able to see where deer are moving, how they're using it, and then try to make a move and set up an ambush for them. As soon as I got done with the intro, I heard a buck coming in the dark. I knew it was a buck because it sounded a little heavier and stopping. And I've seen it before. When they're walking in the dark, they walk and they stop and they listen for other deer. So I waited till he was a little above me, and I grunted and kind of rustled some leaves that are here. And I'm like, oh, here we go. This is a big buck. I'm gonna call him in because they're a lot easier to call in before first light, but you can't shoot them. You just gotta hope that it gets light and they're still around, but they are a lot easier to call in because they can't see and they want to come check it out. So I rustled some leaves, grunted at him, heard him stop. Then he started coming in a little bit, and then I heard him making a rub, and I'm like, man, this might be a big buck. So I waited and waited and waited, and it's getting lighter and lighter. And I knew he was just going to wait till it was light before he came down here, but it was worth a try. And then he snort-wheezed a little, and it didn't sound like a big buck when he snort-wheezed. I'm like, well, we'll see what he is at least. This ended up being a 4-point. He was so lost. He's like, I definitely heard another deer down here, but I don't see that deer. As soon as it got light, he kind of looked around. Then he walked off. He was doing exactly what I thought these bucks would do. Just cruising the side of this hill, trying to cut a doe's path where she walked up the hill. just sitting here, taking it in, enjoying the morning. I look down to my left and I'm like waiting to see a big buck walking around. There's just 4 does. One of those does just must have ripped a bleat or something. Just loud, deep, weird. So they're doing exactly what I expected the does to be doing. They're just going up this way. That 4-point earlier was going this way. My wind is perfect, coming right down this hill. It's a little after 10 o'clock. I kind of want to push in closer to this bedding area. Get more on this top. The wind's good. The wind's been going down all day, so good pinch point in there, good cliff, and a good ridge that meets the cliff. Might be able to set up in that area. He was dead. I literally chalked that buck up as dead. I found his sheds spring of 2019. Hunted them all last fall. Tons of pictures of him. I had his home range pretty much pinned down. I had an encounter with him in the rut over here last year. Last time I ever saw that buck. Trail camera picture. 4th day rifle season at noon, running in front of my camera. Last I ever saw him. I have at least 15 cameras where his home range was through here last year. Not a single picture of him. I chalked him up as dead. I checked a camera over here on this ridge yesterday. I got a buck that looked very, very similar to him. But he grew main beam length and some tine length, but his brow tines were short. I thought he would have been way bigger. That's why I didn't think it was him. Even though he's still giant, I thought he would have been way bigger this year. Well, he showed up 4 or 5 days ago on that camera. And I'm like, man, that deer is definitely related. Well, I just saw him. And he is huge. I got a little video of him. And that is for sure the same buck. He was grunting and snort wheezing. And so what happened? I got down out of my tree and I was walking up here. I was literally going to set up right in here. I hear brrr, brrr, to my left, and I knock in there and get ready because I thought the buck was chasing a doe to me. And then I hear a deer blow like it got my wind. And then I hear them kind of walk off, trot off up here. And I'm like, well, I know exactly what just happened. There was a big buck bedded with a doe. I actually saw his antlers when he got up. And I'm like, that was a really big buck. And they came up here. I'm like, that was definitely a big buck bedded with a doe. But the doe kind of got me. And the buck didn't. So the doe got up and was walking off. And he was mad and was grunting at her to stop because he doesn't want her walking around so other bucks can find her. So I was like, okay, they're gone. I'm just going to climb a tree over their beds and see what I see. I'm climbing this tree, and I got up like 15 feet, and I wanted to stop and look around. I look up, and there's like a 7-point on the hill. I'm like, oh, okay. Out of nowhere, there he steps, and they're walking in, and the doe was coming in, and she kind of got up here, 35 yards. That doe came above me, and she kind of got my wind again, and walked that way, and the buck followed her, snort wheezing and grunting. So what I'm gonna do now, those deer were up here. There's a little hill here, a little tiny hill, and they went on the right side of it. I'm gonna skirt down here, below the hill, get on that side, and set up for the evening. There's freaking 5 days left of the PA archery season, man, and I found the buck that I've been after that I thought was dead. He's a giant 8-point. He's a giant. So I'm gonna get this stuff all put together. Go around here, maybe 100 yards and set up. Because what these does do in the evening, they bed up here and then they want to go down for food. They go down on this hillside, eat acorns. I'm gonna set up like I would if I was hunting a doe. Because that doe is gonna do what she's gonna want to do, and he's gonna be right behind her the whole time. Oh man, I can't freaking believe this. So it's 12:30.
Sorry, I'm having.
Oh my god. Shut up. Oh my god. Last time I talked to you, I was over there 80 yards, and I wanted to come around this hill. Sure enough, right here is the big 8's bed. This is the first confirmed bed I've ever found from this buck. I've had suspicions of where he bedded, but never put an exact spot on it until right now. His bed is 4 yards from me. The bottom of my climber is 2.5 feet off the ground. I am hidden perfectly in this mountain laurel, like it just makes like a shell around me. The rubs exiting his bed are all from last year, just like my camera said, and just like I've noticed, he just moved in here. He hasn't even freshened these rubs or anything up. So like I said earlier, I was going to try to get around this hill and try to pick them off when they are coming down to eat in the evening. I found this bed, and I don't know. I'm just going to try it. This is the craziest setup I've ever freaking put on a buck. I was debating, do I want to climb 20 feet or do I want to climb 2 feet? And I have so much cover here. The only thing is the wind. The wind's so swirly right now. And what I'm banking on, just the slightest chance, is that he breeds that doe and leaves her, and he's gonna want to lay down, and right here is his bed. So that's the smallest, slimmest chance ever of that happening, but we're gonna try it. Just give you a lay of the land where his bed is. Down here's a flat. Right here you have this little hill, little tiny hill, and then it goes to another flat back here, and then a cliff about 120 yards. Come this way. So this is his bed right here. He faces that way. He has a good view down through there. Good exit trail this way, this way, this way. No really exit out towards that way. And then down here, this hillside gets really steep. I was set up down here this morning, about 200 yards. This gets really steep over here, which I imagine he beds over there as well. And then this way is a little more gradual. He just came back. He came down. I only saw him. He was alone. Came down here 40 freaking yards. He walked down here. I grunted at him, snort wheezed, broke a bunch of branches. I haven't seen him